Hi, hello. Walking out of the dark. Good morning. Hi, everyone. By the way, partner, not founder yet, but a very proud partner. My name is indeed Ravid Kuperberg. I'm really happy to be here. This is my fourth or fifth time in Tbilisi. I love it here. I always go back on a strict diet when I land at home. And I hope there are many more visits to come. First thing I want to start off and share with you is that I don't understand anything about technology. Anyone in the audience right now could teach me almost anything about technology. So if you thought this would be a talk about UX and CX and VX and WX and 3X, the emergency exits are located here, here, and here, and you're welcome to run away. There is one technology, however, that I do understand, and which I will talk about. I think it's the most important technology, is the one in here. So when you want to be innovative, it's not just about the technology, it's about how you operate your mind to be able to produce ideas that no one else managed to see or produce before you. Which is exactly what we do at Mindscapes. Mindscapes, there is the founder, Jonathan, and myself. We're two people at a small agency based in Tel Aviv, which helps creative thinkers just like yourselves use your own inborn creative thinking skills in a more efficient and effective manner. Basically, we have this toolkit which helps you operate your mind in a way which helps you reach better ideas in less time with less frustration, which is, I think, really amazing. In order to illustrate how this works, I want to do a short demonstration. So I'm going to ask everyone to close your eyes, please. Please close your eyes. If you had a lot of cha-cha yesterday, please don't fall asleep. And I want you all to imagine a table. Okay? Even in the back over there. I can see you peeking in the balcony over there. Close your eyes. I want you to imagine a table, a creative table, a well-designed. I want you to see it in your imagination, this amazing, well-designed table. And now open your eyes and raise your hand if you thought about a table which looks something like this, where not all the legs are connected to the platform. Any hands?
Not exactly like this, but...
Close. Okay, so you're allowed to boast. But the reason, no one except what's your name?
Katie.
Except Katie. What, Katie? Was able to think about something like this is because all of us suffer from a cognitive bias called structural fixedness. Structural fixedness is basically when the mind addresses a system it is already familiar with. A system can be anything we want it to be. It could be a device, it could be a product, it could be a service, it could be a place, it could be a person. Any system we want to work on. When it addresses a system it is already familiar with, it automatically does three things. One, it considers it as one whole entity. So when I say table, you think about a table. You don't think about all the parts that structure a table. You see a table in your mind. And because you see a table in your mind, because you see a system as one entity, you automatically associate it with its conventional structure, thereby limiting your imagination. Because who says that a table has to be structured the way you already know? Perhaps if you do something innovative and unexpected, like not connect all the legs to the table, you can come up with amazing ideas like this table, which has won awards for its design. And because we automatically associate every system with its known structure, we also suffer from something called functional fixedness, which means that we associate every component of that structure with its conventional function. So our mind already knows what everything is supposed to do. Again, limiting our imagination, because who says that each part has to function only the way we expect it to do? Again, limiting our imagination, limiting our ability to be innovative. For example, the handrests on a chair, who says that they only have to function as something to rest your hand? What if they could hold the platform of the table, making the legs of the table redundant, providing more space below the platform, which makes it much more comfortable to sit at those long meetings when you're trying not to fall asleep, right? So again, something which limits our imagination. And it's not just not just things we see. It's relevant for fixedness is everywhere, all our senses. Look at this. So, basically, if you came into this talk thinking that I would explain how the mind is our best friend and our partner when it comes to being innovative, I'm sorry to say it's not always the case. Many times, our mind actually operates on automatic mode and overcomes and uses fixedness as part of the way it works, thereby limiting our imagination. And the way to be innovative is actually not letting the mind run the thinking process, but giving the mind specific, strict, technical instructions on how we want it to think, so that it works in a technical way, not its automatic mode, thereby overriding fixedness, because it's not responding to its natural way of thinking. And that's what makes it so interesting. So the mind is it's a friend, it's an asset, but it's a dangerous tool which we need to address. And that's exactly where my company comes in, Mindscapes, because what we have found is that if you look at award-winning ideas from all over the world, in advertising, in marketing, new product development, you can actually notice that you can divide these ideas into groups of ideas, where in each group there are ideas which are completely different in the end outcome, completely original, but they all share the same thinking pattern at the start of the thinking process, the same thinking action that created the spark in the mind of the thinker. And what we do is we try to identify and decode these thinking patterns, translate them into a simple thinking tool, which we present to our clients and to our amazing audience wherever we go, so that they can use them to reach their own amazing, innovative, original ideas. It's a way of instructing the mind how to think. So enough with all this theory bullshit. Let's see how it works in practice. Let's take the red pill. Let's go inside the matrix and see how the mind really works. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share two completely different creative ideas, and I'm going to see if we can together identify the thinking pattern which is embedded in both ideas. First idea is from the United States for Glade. Glade sells scented fragrance products, including scented candles. In the past, most of its income came from brick and mortar stores. Today, a lot of its income comes from online shopping. So it had to find a way to let people experience what Glade stands for when people purchase products like this.
You know how everyone these days is all about this, and a lot less about this? Well, that can be challenging if you're one of the leading brands of home fragrances that's all about being felt and experienced with your senses. So how do we get people to sample our products when they're on their devices instead of in the aisles? We invented a new medium that gives online shoppers a way to sample our fragrances without ever leaving their couch. Introducing Scent by Glade, the first ever fragrance-filled packing pillow. We took those boring air pillows that protect online deliveries and turned them into vessels to smuggle our beautiful fragrances into homes. We teamed up with one of the biggest retailers in the world to make this happen. So when people received their orders and popped their pillows to recycle them, they got a free sample of our new spring fragrance, a total upgrade to an ordinary unboxing. We created awareness and sampling in the convenience of their home and let them convert it into a sale with a quick scan and tap of their phone. Boom. We're turning this wasted real estate into a living, breathing experience. Glade is proud to be the first brand to bring fragrance to online shopping and to be the first one to monetize air.
So, innovative, right? Yeah, they deserve it. They did. They won a lot of awards for that. Here's an even more recent one for Samso. And Samso, it's a Danish fashion brand. which is very committed to sustainability, very committed to the environment, and of course, fashion is one of the most biggest polluters in the world. So their mission is for people to wear their clothes as much as possible, because that means they can produce less clothes. Problem is that research they got and did showed the younger generation today wears clothes 3 or 4 times before they consider it used, old, and stop wearing it. And it sits in the closet, and it's a waste of all the production pollution that was generated. So they say, okay, we don't even care if you resell your clothes, as long as more people wear the items and the clothes are worn more and more times, making the effort and the pollution worth the while. And so they did this. So make it easy to resell your clothes, more people wear the clothes, and less damage to the environment. Yes, they also certainly deserve it. But what we've seen here are 2 completely different ideas, different brands, different tasks, different categories, which came up with ideas that share the same thinking pattern. Which is, anyone would like to shout out a guess? Sorry, louder? By doing what? Design thinking by doing, sorry? How did they, of course, if it wasn't innovative thinking, I wouldn't be here talking about this. Why? How?
Imagination?
I hope, yes, because it's very important. You need imagination to be innovative. Remember what we talked about fixedness, about things that are expected to do what we want them to do, or we think what they should do, when in fact you can see that in both cases, we see things we already know, like the pillows in the box which protect the products, or like the tag in the back of our clothes, and they're suddenly doing something new, unexpected, thereby delivering a benefit in an innovative way and overriding fixedness. We like to call this thinking mechanism new tasking. Many people like to call it repurposing. It's a more generic use, but I think new tasking is a more accurate description, because basically it's about using your own knowledge, your creativity, your imagination, to assign a new task to an existing resource in a system, something which is already there. And of course, the new task has to be something unexpected that we don't expect that resource to perform. And therefore, we deliver a benefit or an attribute in a surprising, new, innovative way. Right? So this is easier said than done, by the way, because when we are asked to be innovative, our intuitive way of thinking would be, okay, we want to add a benefit, we want to add something that doesn't exist, we're going to add a component, we're going to add something to our system which will deliver that benefit. When in fact, this thinking mechanism suggests, wait a minute, you want to be innovative? You want to do something special? Don't hurry and add something to your system. Don't add something to your product. Don't add something to your service. Don't add something to your point of sale. Use the resources which are already there. Operate within, limit your mind in order to be innovative. work within a restricted universe and see if any resource which is already there and available can perform the task that will help deliver your benefit. And then you have an amazing way to override fixedness and come up with something amazing. For example, the air pillows are already in the delivery package. Nobody added them. They're there to protect the product. Now, functioning as a fragrance sample. The tag in the back of our clothes, already in the back of our clothes, now functioning as an easy way to generate a resale ad on social media. Think about it. They could have easily, both cases, they could have easily put a small fragrance sample in the package. Same result. They could have easily put a link on the invoice you get with your text where you could click it and automatically go online to a platform which helps you resell your ad. But why are these ideas so innovative? Because they didn't do that. They used something which was already there in order to do something unexpected. Air pillows, doing something unexpected. The tag, which usually tells us the size and how we need to wash our clothes, now tells us and helps us resell our product. So for example, these are amazing examples of why you can deliver the same value if you would have added something, but a much better story. There is a story behind it because people see something they are already familiar with, doing something unexpected, and that's why they perceive your idea as innovative, much more innovative, right? And of course, you override fixedness in your mind. Now, I keep saying the word system. Like I said before, a system can be anything you're currently working on. It could be your product, it could be your service, it could be your product line. Think about your product line and how many resources are there which might be able to perform other tasks, right? Whether it's the people or the technology or the location. Your brand could be a system, right? It has a logo, it has a font, it has a color, it has icons. The world of user, where someone is using your product, it could be an office, it could be a car, it could be their living room, it could be a point of sale where you sell your product, or an event you're sponsoring, like this one. Think about how many resources are available right here that could be new tasks in order to provide a better experience. What if the lights up there would drop small drops of cha-cha right now to get you all excited, right? So there are many resources everywhere, as long as you take something which already exists and give it a new task to deliver an innovative result. And in order to do that, the best technical way is to consider your task, consider the system you want to work on, select the system you want to work on, and then use your creativity to make a list of as many resources as you can think of. You will start off with the more generic, basic resources, but as you go down the list, you will find yourself coming up with more creative, interesting resources. Look at the list, consider the benefit or attribute you want to deliver, and see if any of these resources can deliver that benefit with providing the task you wanted to perform. And then you have an amazing, innovative outcome. And again, you break fixedness. When you break fixedness, people think your idea is innovative. That's example number one. Quickly, example number two, and we're done. The second thinking pattern I want to share with you, let's see it again through two amazing examples of smart ideas. First one is from Australia, from Tontine, which is a pillow manufacturer that wanted to remind its consumers that they have to replace their pillows once every few years because of the amount of germs that accumulate on your pillow over time. So in order to do that, they did this.
There is an uglier side of the pillow, and the uglier side of the pillow is that there is all these bugs and ecosystems that lives inside. Honestly, when we first heard the concept of stamping pillows, we thought, wow, that's something really game-changing.
So simple, so smart, right? And the second idea comes from Brazil. Magalu is the biggest e-commerce platform there. And when they wanted to introduce their new online music instrument marketplace, they did this.
To promote their musical instruments marketplace, Magalu, the Brazilian retail giant, launched Shopping Inside Songs, a mobile experience where you can buy inside the songs you're listening to. First, we teamed up with Deezer to create different playlists featuring hits from Universal, Sony, Warner, and other record labels. Then, to identify the brand, model, series, and even the color of each instrument used in the big hits, we went through thousands of hours of in-depth research with a team of musical producers.
From Dua Lipa to Bob Marley, from Ed Sheeran to Anita, the piano of John Lennon's Imagine, the microphones used in Get Lucky, it's all there.
We entered all this info into a Deezer streaming experience that shows the instruments one by one as they are played in the songs, transforming each track into an instrument store. And 4 weeks after the launch, a 50% increase on sales, plus 173% increase in visits to Magalu's marketplace. Shopping Inside Songs. For the first time, you can buy Inside Songs.
Again, very innovative, yeah. This is one of my favorites. Very innovative, yet very suddenly you realize it's rather simple. Not technological-wise, thinking-wise. So again, two completely different ideas share the same thinking mechanism at the start of the thinking process in order to spark the idea in the mind of the thinker. What's the thinking pattern here? Anybody want to try and guess? Silence. By doing what? Yeah, so they're addressing the way you buy the product and you experience the product by doing what?
By raising awareness about the details of the product, just unpacking the basic value of the product.
That's true. So they're going, I agree, they're going into details, and the interesting thing about the details they're going to is because they're actually taking one of these details, and if you've noticed, they're seeing if there is anyone else addressing the same problem, the same detail, in another category, in another territory, and they're applying it on their product, on their brand. So they're taking the expiration stamp, which is not seen on pillows, now being applied on pillows. The second idea, if you think about it, what they've just done is they've created an IKEA exhibition. They've shown you all the products together. Usually it's in a showroom in IKEA, now it's in a song, but you see all the products appearing together, operating one with the other, and you can go inside and select the product you want to see, but you see the products in action, not on their own, but together with the other products to get the full picture, right? So basically, this thinking mechanism is something we call replication. And the idea is to use your creativity and experience to replicate a common practice, solution, or feature which addresses a similar challenge, addresses a specific challenge in another content world, in another category, in another territory, and you replicate it onto a new, unexpected content world facing a similar challenge. You take something in another content world and apply it in a new, unexpected content world, basically your own, thereby delivering a benefit attribute in a new, innovative, unexpected way. We didn't invent this. This is a very common thing which is done in engineering. It's called biomimicry, if someone have heard this phrase. And the idea is to use features and solutions and behaviors which are common in nature to produce technological developments, thereby replicating what is done in nature onto technological developments in order to achieve the same benefit. So, replicating an expiration stamp, which is common in dairy and food, now being applied on pillows for the same benefit, telling people they need to, then the life has ended for this pillow and you can't use it anymore. And replicating, showcasing a variety of products in a holistic exhibition, like in a catalog or like in a showroom, in order for people to get the full picture and experience what the products can do, is common in furniture, IKEA, or in fashion, where we see the fashion catalogs all the clothes are together. Now in Magaluf, because the song is the showroom or the catalog where we see all the products operating together and we can appreciate what they can do. And guess what we just did? We made something people think they know how it should operate, do something unexpected, and overrode fixedness. And to finish this talk, the most important thing we need to address are socks. Not socks, socks. Actually, the thing that sucks the most about socks is losing. Who said losing one? Losing one. You're always going to lose one. So, Monoprix in France came up with the most simple, innovative solution, selling a pair of socks with 3 socks in them. You basically have a spare sock in your pair. And it's so simple, but it's not new because it's done in cars. We have a spare tire in the car, an unequal amount of tires in case one of the tires is not usable, and we can take that one and proceed if nothing went wrong. So a wonderful replication and an innovative idea. This one not even involving any technology. This technology I can understand. 3 socks in a pair. Even I can understand that technology. And to summarize everything, it's called innovation, not newvation. Because you don't always have to bring something new. Sometimes the best way to get people to think you're innovative is actually to take something which is already there, whether it's a resource or whether it's a practice or feature, and apply it in a new, unexpected way. It could be a wonderful way to come up with an innovative outcome. Thank you so much. This is an email. Keep in touch. Thank you. Thank you. Wait a minute. Before one more thing. If you want to see I would be happy to share the deck. So if you email me, or maybe the festival, the deck is yours. And now it's a real goodbye. Thank you so much.